I'm having around 4 years of experience as the AWS Cloud Engineer. From the last
Mm-hmm.
2 years, I have experience working in Canada in IT Methods, where IT
Mm-hmm.
Methods is a startup consulting company where
Mm-hmm.
we manage our clients by providing the services in the AWS Cloud.
Mm-hmm.
As IT Methods is a startup company, I got exposed to the many AWS resources like EC2s, VPCs, security groups, route tables, EKS, ECS, and ECRs, and many other more as well. And also, we use the automation tool called Terraform for the infrastructure provisioning on the AWS, where I have extensively worked on Terraform for during this 2 years, from the 2 years for the infrastructure to be provision within the AWS, and also most of our applications are microservices, so we containerize them using the Docker. And to orchestrate these containers, we use the Kubernetes for that. I have worked on for creating the Docker images and writing the Docker files, and by creating the YAML manifest files for the Kubernetes to be creating the deployment spots and services. And also for the CI process, we use the Jenkins by integrating a couple of plugins to get it integrated with the tools that we are using within the integration process. And also for the deployment, we go with the orchestrating. And these are the tools and I have experience within the organizations I have worked from the past 4 years.
Yeah, very good. So for which client you are working?
I was working for the IT methods.
IT Metrics. Okay. So you said you have done the automation and with worked on Terraform, right? So can you walk me through the process of setting up CI/CD pipeline using AWS code pipeline for an application deployed on ECS?
Okay. We in our project in our office, basically we go with the CSD process using the Jenkins. Yeah, for a couple of clients we use for the code pipeline as well for the using the AWS resources. Basically, first whenever the developers commit the code within the code pipeline within the GitHub, our code pipeline automatically triggers using the webhooks we use within the GitHub. So whenever for the has the code pipeline gets triggered, the first process goes is to the build stage, where the it uses the build tools for to build the applications depending upon the application whatever you're using. If you are going with a Java application, we use the Maven builds, and then it goes for the unit testing like J by using the JUnit. And after the unit testing, once it get approved, then it would going for the static code analyzing using the Sonar Cube. Once every step goes past in within the unit testing phase, then we do create the Docker files. We do create the Docker image using the Docker files, and we create by creation of the Docker file image, we will be pushing the Docker image to the ECR, where it's a container registry service of the AWS, where the images are stored in the private. And from the uh, yeah, whatever the email stored in the ECR are being pulled by the Argo CD and deployed in the Kubernetes cluster.
Uh-huh.
These are these are process we involve in our office.
Okay. So example of a Terraform configuration to provision an EC2 instance. How do you handle this sensitive information like passwords in Terraform?
Basically, in Terraform, to handle the sensitive information, we use a key called sensitivity equal to true. By using the sensitivity equal to true, whatever the sensitive information that are provisioned using the Terraform or gets hidden within the logs and within the configuration files as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can you explain me the key difference between EC2 and an Elastic Beanstalk? When would you
Um,
choose one over the other?
Okay, I haven't got much experience working on Elastic Beanstalk, but EC2s are mostly used when to deploy the applications and run the applications to the and give the provision applications to the end user. Elastic Beanstalk is also the virtual machine basically that has been used whenever where during the low volume of the traffic we go with the Elastic Beanstalk, but I don't have much experience working on it. But EC2s are basically used for the heavy traffic and the heavy load of applications that have been provisioned and that needs to be given access to the end users when it has been provisioned.
Okay. Okay. So, do you have experience on security also, networking on security?
I have experience on the networking security in a sense like on AWS services using the NACLs and security groups and route tables. Yeah.
Mhm. So can you tell me the difference between security groups and network ACLs in Amazon VPC? When would you
Yeah.
use one over the other? Yeah.
Yeah. Security groups are used at the instance level basically
Mm-hmm.
to allow the traffic or to allow the incoming and outgoing traffic. Basically, in a security group, the incoming traffic is notified in the form of inbound rules, and outgoing traffic is notified in the form of outbound rules. Whenever the firewall that has been provisioned at the instance level, it's called the security groups. And when it comes to the NACL network access control list is service from the AWS. Basically, it is used at the firewall level that has been used at the subnet level. Basically, whenever we want to restrict the incoming and outgoing traffic at the subnet level rather than the EC2 instance levels, so we go for the NACLs. And using the NACLs, we can deny the traffic as well coming to
Yes.
the EC2 instances. Where it comes to security groups, only we can allow the traffic. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you for the update. So, do you have a, experience on monitoring also?
Yes, I do have experience on the monitoring tools like Datadog, Prometheus, and Prometheus.
So, currently you are working on Datadog and Prometheus. Do you
Yes.
have idea on CloudWatch?
Yeah, I do. For a couple of clients, I worked on the CloudWatch, but not recently. But recently, for most of the clients, we are working on the Datadog and Prometheus.
Okay, what type of metrics would you monitor for an application performance using these?
Uh, for application performance, in the sense like to know the application running within the instance levels. Okay. Basically, I will go by introducing the matrices. Like, firstly, I will monitoring the instance level monitoring, like whether the instance is running or not. I will create the dashboards and like to know. And next, I will be creating the monitoring upon the application level, like is up by creating the readiness and liveliness process in application, so that we can know whether the application is running within the EC2 instance, like whether it is up and running or is there some issues we have that is being facing within the instance within the application level.
Okay. So how will you get these logs as a tickets? See when the application is gone down, and how will you get the alerts? So what is
Okay.
the process?
Uh, Yeah, basically, whenever there is an issue within any of the service within the AWS, firstly, there we do get the SNS that has been provided within the CloudWatch, so that whenever there is an issue within the service, the automatic SNS triggers and that is sent to our Slack channel, which we use in our organization, basically using the SNS. And also, there is an alternate tool called Opgenie we use in our organization, basically if there is an issue with in the same way there is issue with a service, the option is getting integrated with the Datadog, so that where it automatically picks that issue and intimates our within our organization using the Slack channel, so that we can get to know this issue within here. And also we do get track the logs within the log analysis within the CloudWatch. As we go into the CloudWatch log analysis, we can see the detailed logs, like where everything about the issues, about the application status and the error logs as well.
So which ticketing tool you are using? Where you will get the tickets and all?
We use the Zira for that.
Zira. So if
Yes.
something goes wrong, and I mean, see in the infra, and if you want to use the change management, so what is the process you follow? Do you have idea about change management?
Yes, I do have an idea. Like whenever there's an issue within the infra,
Infra.
basically we do get, yeah, we do get alert using the Opsgenie, and we do get alert within our Slack channel. Once we get the alert within the Slack channel, we create the priority wise ticket if that is comes to the priority one or priority two, so that we will be creating within the Zira like a ticket that has been priority one. The depending upon the SLS, like priority one and two tickets needs to be solved within the 45 to 2 hours period. So by basically by creating the ticket within Zira and by intimating to the team members, we'll be working on the who is on the all call, and it randomly picks the person who is working on the operations teams, and he needs to work on that particular ticket.
Okay. So can you tell me your team size?
We are of 5 members in our team. Three of them are cloud ops members, and along with my team lead, and one is a DevOps engineer.
So infra, I mean, what's on?
Basically, as I told previously, IT Methods is a startup company where cloud ops members will be also involved with the DevOps team. And as I'm having the knowledge within Terraform as well, so I will be getting involved within the DevOps team for the infra automating the infra within the AWS as well.
Okay. So can you give me an example how you have used Python script using automate AWS tasks? As you said, you are into automation. Yeah.
Yeah. Previously, right now we doesn't use the Python much, but previously when I was working with the Bachsa, we used to create the infrastructure within AWS using the Python rather than going with the Terraform. And recently, one of the I got involved with one of the tasks which involves a Python as well. Like we need to decrease the cost for one of the client where it's getting high. So just because of the unrelevant logs that have been stored within the S3 buckets, so we need to delete those objects that are been stored, logs that are stored in S3 bucket. So for that we use the Python automating script. By using the Python automation script, we clear and using the tag and tag name as a reference for the S3 bucket, we cleared most of the logs.
Mm-hmm.
These all we have been experienced working with the Python recently.
So can you tell me how would you schedule a regular backups of AWS resources and automate the cleanup tasks using any scripting language? So I want the process. How will you do that entire process?
Okay. We use the process by right now we go with the manual process like backing up one of the EBS volumes using the snapshots and creating within the different regions. Previously, for one of the client, we used the Python using the Lambda functions for backing up basically by creating the Boto3 library and describing the EBS volumes for the instances, particular instances, and storing the volumes in the form of snapshots in the other availability zones so that we can use it in the time of disaster recovery as well.
So do you have hands-on experience on migration also? Anytime you have worked on migrating on-prem infra to cloud?
Um, I doesn't have much experience on the migration basically from the on-prem. From the start of my career as working on the cloud as a AWS Cloud Engineer, but I do have experience working on the migration, something similar to the disaster recovery. But with high security within the AWS, we need to use of that high security and the cost optimization for the AWS. The which is something I feel so something similar to the disaster recovery where the V services needs to be provisioned within the different availability zones in the form of same like storing from the services from the on-prem to the AWS cloud.
So can you tell me a major incident you have worked till now? So how you have resolved it? What are the major challenges you have faced when you're working on that major incident ticket or any major ticket?
Yeah, as you're working as a cloud ops engineer and on call, we do go with these major challenges daily in our end-to-end and day-to-day life. Basically, one of the major challenge ticket is like whenever firstly we are integrating the Opsgenie in our organization for the alert manager, we do go with the we used to go with the manual approach like creating the alerts and everything within the Opsgenie. I was alert. I was given with the ticket of going with the automation using the Terraform for the integration between the Obsidian and the Datadog. For that, during the early period, but there was no support from the Terraform for the Obsidian to be integrated, and there was very less services from the Obsidian to be integrated automated using the Terraform. For that, basically I have performed this task using those less services and got integrated with the Datadog. At that point of time, it was much difficult to perform those tasks, basically using those less services within the Opsgenie or using the Terraform for integration between the Datadog and Opsgenie.
Can you provide me references so that I mean I'm done with my interview so that I can I want the references from you. I want to take some data from you.
Okay, I do.
So is it okay? Is it
Yes.
okay? I have seen you have done some certifications, right? I want that certification details also. in your
Yeah,
resume you have mentioned, right?
yeah, already mentioned in the resume as well as they are in the LinkedIn profile as well. The
Yeah.
LinkedIn profile also been mentioned in the resume.
Okay, so you have mentioned IT methods, right? So how do you commute to your office? Where is it
Basically,
located?
yeah, it is located in Toronto. It is completely a remote work.
Remote work. Who is your manager?
The our manager is John Hayes.
Mhm. Okay, so I'm done with my interview. Do you have any questions, Shashidar?
I like to know about the project, like how what kind of project will you be working on once I get into involved in within the organization.
Yeah, I think you have gone through our profile, right? What do you understand from our company's profile? Can you briefly tell me what you understood from our profile, company's profile?
We do provide the services to the financial clients by providing the softwares to those clients.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
So, like, I do have the doubt, like, we do go with the monolithic applications or the microservices by using the Kubernetes and Docker, and or like basic use of the EC2 instances.
yeah, I see. Ours is also a startup company. I think you have gone through our profile, right? So,
Mhm.
are you already working with startup company? Are you really interested to work again with the startup company?
Yes, I do. Just because while working with a startup company, has like we do get involved with the many other new resources as well as the new tools we can implement within the company, and we do get more knowledge. That is one of the main reason why I do want to work with the startup companies and why I was working with IT methods also right now.
What are the three better things you want from this inter? I mean, what improve you want to get better from our company?
The first main thing is like better teamwork, better team. I was looking for the better team, and the second thing is like the my manager needs to have the minimal technical knowledge, so that whenever our team members are getting or in the busy as well, I do can communicate with my manager. And the third thing is like I like to commute to the office rather than being on the remote.
Better
I do.
team in the sense we are three only. Since it is a startup company, we are the three resources we have to work. So, are you willing to work with the three resources?
I doesn't mean the better team is like the length of the team, but the team that needs to be involved within all activities. Like whenever someone is struggling, whenever someone has been struck with some of the issues. So if the better team, then we can resolve the issues in a given SLA rather than going beyond the SLAs.
Okay.
I can.
What's your current expect? I mean, what's your current salary and expectation, Shashidhar?
I was expecting between 95K to 100K per annum right now.
What's your current salary?
Current salary is around 95K.
Our budget is into 85.
I can negotiate up to 93, but I can't go beyond the 93 because right now I was working for the 95K.
Okay. Okay. We are in process of still we are recruiting. I mean, still we are doing interviews. So once you are done with the interview, our HR will come back to you and okay.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Shashidhar. Bye. Have a good day.
Thank you.